Okay, let's go.
Hello, welcome to Greek class. In this session, I want to introduce you to the 24 letters of the Greek alphabet. They consist both of consonants and vowels. We're going to learn their names. Each letter has a name. We're going to learn their names. We're going to learn the signs, or what we can call the form, how it is written. We're going to learn that. We're going to learn the transliteration. That is, what's the equivalent of this Greek letter in ordinary letters? How do we represent it? It's like transfer of that letter to, let's say, English letter. I want to take note of that. But when we talk of the forms, which is also the sign, we have the lowercase, which is small letter, and uppercase, which is the capital letters. We are going to learn all that. And then we want to know the sound we have to produce when we see this sign. These are basic things we want to do today. There are 24 letters, as I mentioned, and it starts with the first one is alpha. Let me teach you the song that will help you to remember them. So I'll list out all the names so that you know all those names. We'll use it to sing. Yeah, it will aid your memory so that you don't forget them. Very good. So let's go on. The first letter is alpha. So let me write it for you. So we are going to read it. The second letter is beta. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta. That's delta is the epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda. Okay, let me take it again. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, si, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. That's it. So let's take it again. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. One more time. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, upsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega. I want to use this time to pay tribute to one of my students, Pastor Goodness. He was the one that coined the song to aid his mates in learning the language. So, Pastor Goodness, thank you so much. You can see the far we have come with the song. All right, so these are the names. These are the names. Now we want to know the form that goes with each name. To write the name, just like what we wrote, we mention the sign or form. Both of them means the same, either sign or form. Some we say letter. Then we have the lowercase. that's the small letter. The uppercase for that particular letter. Transliteration, that's the equivalent letter in English or any language that you are used to. But here, there's a standard way we do that, and we say. And after transliteration, we talk of sound. And when we mention sound, that means when we have that letter, what sound do we produce? And when you talk of sound, you don't produce sound in isolation. You must be in the context of a word. So look for a word that actually gives that sound. If you have a word that different people pronounce in different ways, don't use that. Just use a word that is generally acceptable, that espouses that sound. Okay, so our first one is alpha, which we have known. Our alpha, call it this way. I'm getting very careful to call it or write it that way, but so many of the time I write it this way. The uppercase is like our English letter A. That's our only one of these we need to write. I'm just putting different forms. You may find me writing it. I can write it this way, but most of them I do actually write it this way. As you get acquainted with the New Testament, you will see the way it's actually written. All right. Our transliteration is A, our letter A. In terms of sound, our sound is A sound. A sound. And I want you to take note that the way we pronounce, especially the first letter we pronounce, actually corresponds with the sound of that letter. So this is not alpha, this is alpha, alpha. So the sound is R. So you say this letter as in, let's say, father, for example, father is an R sound. Don't say, you can say father, you can say car, it's the same, it's an R sound. Don't say this as in this word. Because if you do that, this word is not sound R. This letter is not sound R, it is sound A. But our sound for alpha is R sound. So look for corresponding sound, word that we have, the sound R. Then the second one we all know is beta. Take note, I did not say beta. It is beta. Later you get to understand why we call it that one, beta. And in terms of this, how we represent our beta, see how I started it. It's slant, okay? Let it slant and do like that. So that's okay. It doesn't really matter that whether one is bigger than the other. It's all right. As I say, my main focus is that you don't confuse it with any other letter. So that's beta. And the capital letter is our English B also. So it aligns with what we know in English. Transliteration is also B sound, B. And the sound is B. B as in, you can say big, bag, bag is B sound. So take note of that. It's our B sound. Then the third one is gamma. 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 We write this as gamma, but in some other writings, you will see them write it this way. Both ways are still in the lowercase, but this is to me is more common and is more in alignment with what we have in the Bible. But I just needed to put this in case you see it in any other textbook. In terms of the capital letter for gamma is, that's your gamma. That's our gamma. That's our gamma. To remind you, it almost looks like 7, but you know it faces the other way. That's your gamma. And in terms of concentration, it's g, g, g sound. So you say g as in, you can say garden, garden, or or girl is g sound. Sometimes g sound in some other words actually has a G. So you say Germany, this is Germany, but this is not J sound, this is G sound. So take note, G, G, the way you pronounce it is gamma. So it is G sound. And after that, we have number 4, we have delta. Delta, delta you write as if you're writing almost a C, then bring it up, let it curve. Let me try another one. All right. That's your delta. Your delta. Just one is sufficient. That's your delta. In terms of the capital letter, it actually looks like an uncompleted triangle. That's your delta. Delta. The transliteration is D. D. So the sound is like D as in D. Dog. Dig is your D sound. Do is D sound. Then number 5, we have epsilon. Epsilon. Epsilon is as if you're writing 3, but it faces the other side. So just do it like that. That's your epsilon. And in terms of capital letter, your epsilon is like an English E, like our English E. But take note of the name epsilon. The sound is E. So we write it this way, and we say as in, you can say wet, met. Take note, it's an air sound. It's an air sound. And then number 6, we have zeta, zeta, beta, zeta. Take note, our zeta be like this one, zeta. And the capital letter is Z. It's our Z for in zebra. So your transliteration is also Z. So you say Z as in zebra, or you say Zion. It is Z. That's your zeta. Then following zeta is eta. 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 It looks like N, but it's a little longer on the other one. So this is eta. Eta, in terms of the capital letter, is we write it as H. It looks like our English H, but it's not H. This is capital letter of eta. In terms of transliteration, we differentiate it from this by putting a bar on it. So this is your eta. Once you see it in transliterated form, this is eta. Now, how do we write eta in terms of sound? We can say here, let's put another because our concern here is sound. We can say the sound is A as in cake. Cake. This is not A. So this here is A. This here is A. It's different. Okay? Cake. Play. All those ones is basically the same. Play. It is an A sound. Then we have theta. Theta. Our theta is like this. And the capital letter is also, but it's a bigger one because capital letter. That's your theta. Your theta. In terms of our transliteration, we're playing with TH. We're playing with a TH. So you can say TH as in, I say theater. You can say fin, TH, fin, or theater. Take note of that. That's our theta. After our theta, we have our iota. We have iota. Take note, is iota, not iota. is the anglicized form. They say iota. In Greek, is iota. So iota, you don't put any dot on it. It's just iota. And the capital letter is like that too. We don't put any other thing. It's iota. So it's iota. You can guess the sound is also E. It's not I sound. So we say E as in, you can say ink. You can say, what else? Any E sound. Thin is an E sound. That's the iota. After iota, so after iota, we have kappa. Kappa. Kappa is actually looks like our English K, and the capital letter is also like K, just bigger. And so it's K. We can now say in terms of sound K as in, we can say kit, or you can say kitten. It is your is K sound. K. That's kappa. And then the next one is lambda. Lambda. Remember lambda? Lambda. That's our lambda. Lambda. And the capital letter for lambda. Yeah. Okay. This actually lambda. I forgot to complete this. It's a full triangle. Forgive me for that. In delta, it's a full triangle for delta. But for lambda, it's an incomplete triangle. So please take note of that. Uh, Lambda is incomplete triangle. Delta is complete triangle. You take note in geography when you are drawing a map and you want to show that that's a place where there's a lot of confluence of water. You represent it by delta, and that's the form. So please take note of that. So lambda, we have lambda, and this L. Okay, L. So you can say L as in lamb. I say L as in lamb. I say L as in lion. It's basically it's our L. It's sound L. Okay. Following after that, number 12 is moon. Moon is our M. Capital letter is also capital letter M. In transliteration is M. So we can say M as in moon. We can say moon. That's moon. Okay, let's go to the other one. Noon. Just manage it here. The 13th one is noon. Noon is written, it looks like English V, but you can be sure it's not V. We don't have V in Greek. So it's noon. In terms of uppercase, it looks like the English N, capital letter N. That's the uppercase. Transliteration is N, and sound is also N, as in, you can say neon, you can say as in now, it's N, that's N. Then the 14th letter is C, 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 C. And looks like this. Put a little crown on top of it. That's it. That's C. C. In terms of writing C, do like this and a little bit here. You see, it's not like our capital letter E, but it's quite close. You don't join it, but it's like this. That's capital letter uppercase for C. And translation is X in English. So we can say X as in xylophone, xylophone, x, x, Or you can say X as in exercise. Exercise. That's for us. And then the next one is Omicron. Omicron. Take note of the pronunciation. It's O sound. Omicron. Omicron is just O, and the capital letter is just make a bigger one, bigger letter. So that's our Omicron. Transliteration is O, as O. So because it's Omicron, we say O as in, can say orange, as in orange. It's an O sound, as in orange. It's an O sound. Following that, our following after Omicron is P. Okay, the name is P. We don't call it pi, it is P. So P, all those in mathematics, so just make it a bigger one. It's the same form, the smaller case and the uppercase. P. In terms of transliteration, is our English P. Sound can say P as in piper, piper, or as in paper. It is P. That's P sound. As I said, we don't call it pi, it is P. Then the 17th one is row, row, row. And how is row written? You write row, you allow it to slant, not like that. It is slant. It slants. So you're writing the capital letter, it is like English P. So take notes, don't be confused that our row actually looks more like English P, whereas our P actually looks something else. So that's P. And in terms of transliteration, there's this row, this R. So you say R as in right, for example, or you can say rat is R sound. The 18th letter is called sigma. Sigma. This will need a little bit of explanation. Sigma. There are two forms in which we write sigma in the lowercase. Two forms. There's this form here, and there's another form like this. When sigma is at the initial position or in the middle of a word, we use this form. When it's the last letter of a word, we use this. For example, if I want to write, let me say sisters, sisters, that's sisters, and I want to use Greek letters to write it. The first S, I will use this one. I'll put like this. This is my iota. The second S, I'll still use this one. And then I write my tau, which you have not come across. And then this is my epsilon. And then this rho. And then this is final sigma. Final sigma will take this form. It will be like this. So don't forget what I'm illustrating here. For sigma in the lowercase, we have two forms for it. When it's at the beginning or in the median position of a word, as we have here, we use this form. When it's the last letter, we use this form. So take note of it. That's sigma. That's sigma. In terms of the capital letter, so write sigma, we write sigma this way. Write sigma this way. Sigma, a sigma. A sigma, in terms of transliteration, is S. So you can say S as in sign. Sign. Signature is sign. Sign. And from there, we go to 19, we have tau. 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 Tau is like this. It curves a little bit. It almost looks like the English capital letter, but it's small. This is our lowercase, don't forget. And in the capital letter, it just takes a bigger form. That is it. So that's our tau. And in the transliteration, we have it as T. It's T. So you can say T as in tea, teen. That's it. It just tau is T. And the 20th letter is upsilon. Upsilon. I know we had epsilon before, which is S, but this is upsilon. So it's U sound. U sound. Upsilon. Upsilon is written this way. That's upsilon. The capital letter actually looks like capital letter Y. So upsilon, then you have this as your capital letter for upsilon. Upsilon. Transliteration, we have two ways it gets transliterated. You can use U or Y. So you take note of that. And the Y, it's sometimes some use U. So that's your upsilon. Upsilon. In terms of sound, there are many ways you can say. You can say U here as in pool, bull. Some can use like double O as in soon or spoon. Don't worry, don't forget the focus is sound. U as in bull, pool, or double O as in son, spoon. That is upsilon. So we have four more to go. The other one is phi. We have phi, phi. We write phi like this and cross it this way. The capital letter, which is the uppercase, is just bigger. And that's your phi. In transliteration, we usually put ph. Some may want to put, so you can say ph as in, you can say face. Face. That is. Or you can say F if you wish, because that's the sound. F as in fan. Just take note. That is fee. That's fee. After fee, we have he. He. Uh, don't call it chi. It's not chi. It is he. He. Take note. It's he. And it goes this way. It's not X, although it looks like it, and you make this bit bigger. Now, this sound, we don't have an equivalent in English. This is producing it from the throat. So, some use a lot. So when you see it, they represent it by CH. So some may say CH, let's just use this one as in Christ. Christ, because actually in Greek it is Christos, but it's not adequate. We don't have it. But more, they use another language like German, and they say ch as in Bach, Bach. So the unfortunate thing is that we are using a different language to teach, to teach, to teach to teach Greek, another foreign language. But take note, you produce it from the throat. All right. And then the 24th letter is psi, 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 psi. And here it goes this way, like this one. This one is just a little bigger, also like that one. So just say psi is ps, 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 ps. So we can say ps as in lips, for example. lips, or laps. Then the last one we're having is the last letter, the 24th letter is omega. That's omega. And how do we write omega? It looks like our English W. It looks like our English W, but we don't have W in Greek. It's omega. So how do we write the capital letter? Write it this way. Bring it like this. That should be okay. All right. Take note of that. Let's write it in another way. We can make it more round. Okay, I think that seems better. That's your omega, and transliteration is like O, but you put a bar on it to separate it from your omicron. That's O. The sound, don't forget, is not omicron, it's not O, it is O sound. So you say O as in whole, for example, whole. That is O sound. It's an O sound. Thank you very much. These are the 24 letters of the Greek alphabet. So let's have time for assignment. Let's work on what we have learned so far. And I'll take the assignment. So let's have assignment now. Our assignment, I want it to be based on Matthew chapter 1. I want to read from verses 1 to 5. We'll just give a photo of it so you can see the text. I want to do the first verse as an example for you. Let me write it out as it is, and then I'll tell you about the assignment. In the Greek, this will be this reading is katamathion, katamathion, which is according to Matthew. This is in capital. So let's try the hand. You don't need to do this in your own, since it's the same book we're doing. Let's try it, right? Since all are in capital letters in uppercase, let's write them out in lowercase. So it will be like this. That's how it will be in lowercase all through. But let me take the first verse. In the first verse, all this, apart from the first, when you have the Bible, you find that the first letter in a verse will be written with a capital letter. And then if you have proper names, proper nouns, like the name of a person, the name of a place, the first letter will also be written in capital letter. So I'm going to write it out as it's in the Bible. And what I will do is to write everything, transliterate it. So what I want us to practice is transliteration. This particular one, I didn't do transliteration. We can still go ahead and do transliteration of this. This one will be let me take care of this one. This is how it will be in transliteration form. So the first verse, let me write out the first verse. And so in the assignment, you write out the particular text, and then under each letter, you do the transliteration. do the transliteration. Okay, good. So we have done this. This is the text from the Bible, the Greek Bible. This is Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. So it's already all written in Greek. What I want to do now is to do a transliteration of it. All right, sorry. I think I need to write this one. Okay, so I want to now transliterate this. So this is beta, so I'm going to write B, this is iota, this is B, this is lambda, this is this omicron, this is sigma. So here, by the time you look at it this way, you'll be able to pronounce it. This is gamma, this is epsilon, this is nu, this is epsilon, this is sigma, this is epsilon, this is omega, this is sigma. Okay, and then let's say this is iota, this is eta. Don't forget eta. This is sigma, this is omicron, this is upsilon. And then this is your chi. So we represent it this way. This is rho. This is iota. This is sigma. This is tau. This is omicron. And this is upsilon. Okay. This is upsilon and iota. This is omicron. And then this is delta, capital letter delta. So if I want to write it, I'll do it. This is alpha. This is upsilon. This is iota. And this is delta. And this is again upsilon, iota, omicron, upsilon. And the last one there, this is the proper noun. You can see start with a capital letter. And this is your beta. This is beta. This is rho. This is alpha, alpha. So you'll be able to read this now. You can now read Biblos, Geneseos, Jesu, Christu, Wiu, David, Wiu, Abraham. So he's talking of, I don't let me try to explain that for now. For now, we just want to be able to read, want to be able to rewrite, put it in transliterated form so that it looks easier for us to pronounce because we have put it in letters that we are conversant with. So that's what I want you to do for the rest of the verses. Since I've done verse 1, so just do verses 2 through 5, and that should be okay. There are other features that you will observe in the writing as we go on. I shall explain them in coming
Okay, let's go.
Thank you for your time.